Ooh, they're going on Ascent. That's going to be very exciting to see. I haven't seen an Ascent game in a while. I mean, to be fair, most of the time it's boring, but maybe we can see something pretty interesting going on over here with the Ascent. Let me just check that I'm recording and everything. Oh. Well, I have food with me, and I need to do something about the food. And I don't know what to do about the food, so I'll, okay. Let's see. Seeing Vice potentially coming out from one of the teams. It's going to be interesting to see. We already have an insta-lock Sova. And Lawrence has decided that he's an Omen main now because he played Omen once and did pretty well. You know, because that's what he does. He isn't like me, who's like, I've played Omen for 200 hours, that means I'm an Omen main. No, he's like, I played Omen once and I did well. I'm an Omen main now. We also see that Sage locked in from the attackers, which is going to be very interesting. Sage on attack. I mean, they know they're starting on attack as well. Double Duelist comp, no Cypher, and then the other team, triple Sentinel. Oh, they are cooking. They are cooking something up with this comp right here. You have Viper, Deadlock, and Cypher. I am interested to see exactly how they want to get this to play. They have no initiator. I mean, they are starting on defense, so this could be ideal for them. Because, you know, you have Cypher, Deadlock can lock down one site, and then Vice can lock down the other. It could also be like, you know, combine the two. And from the enemy team, we have interesting. We have the Sage on attack over here. Right, let me get used to my keybinds again. Haven't done this in a while. So, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay. And then I believe, yeah, show none, enemy, friendly, all. Okay. So we're gonna see. I'm not entirely sure what is the Sova just AFK. I think the Sova is just AFK. I failed to mention over here. You're gonna see that they're just gonna push back right away. They have that double Sentinel over here, all that info. They don't really need... I mean, they have the Cypher holding as well over here. Just gonna pop his Cam. Cam's gonna get destroyed. He's gonna know that they're there. They're gonna see his one way. They're not really wanting to go in too much. He's gonna get a lot of shots, but somehow none of them connect. Is that... Oh, there was a Vise Wall. Well, that Vise Wall completely ruined the Cypher trip. I gotta say, we're gonna see a bit more pushing towards mid. Wait, that wrong... Oh, okay. Oh, is it offset? Oh no, I hate when this happens. When a player disconnects, like the keybinds are all wrong. So, that's really annoying. It says like Omen's on 9, but it's actually currently ISO. We're gonna see interesting execute towards the side over here. Deadlock being able to hold, get one. Tries to go for the second. Sage manages to survive though, getting that plan down. We're gonna see that Phoenix going into heaven, and we have a retake over here. Phoenix gonna run into the Omen. Omen's not gonna notice that, and it's just down to the Sage left all alone, not being able to connect any of the shots, and Sova's just AFK.
10 seconds left.
I'm gonna ask them. Runs out of time, left in a 1v4 situation, although he does get 2 and picks up a ghost.
It is difficult tracking their Omen, but not impossible.
That is a little interesting. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing now they're gonna put the Cypher alone on A, and you can see how they've just instantly adapted to that. Because once that wall got baited out and the trip got hit, none of the shots connected because of that wall. So it makes sense to put the Cypher alone, and that is an interesting wall. I feel like you could maybe... Actually, no, you can't squeeze past that because it has a bit of thickness to it. And we're going to see... They're going to just push in right towards the B site. We're already seeing an Ares buy. And I mean, with Ares also getting buffed a little bit. Phoenix going to peek out into it. Invest a flash. Doesn't flash anyone, though. And ISO's just alone while the rest of the team are starting to move towards there. ISO getting taken out by the Phoenix, and the Sova getting tagged and killed, but gets refragged by the Omen. And the Phoenix manages to push out all the way into mid. It's all down to these two attackers. They're left in A main, and I mean, they've cleared out the entirety of the map except for the A main. They must know that they're up here. They're probably going to peek into heaven. Not really going to take anything too aggressive yet. Phoenix going to use his wall to safely cross. Is he very much expecting them? Sees the Sage. Doesn't connect a single shot, though.
Rip and tear.
I's going to invest.
One enemy remaining.
We're going to see the Ares get another pick, and is just down to the Sage. Decides to try to pivot towards it, but probably doesn't expect the Vise. The Vise doesn't expect the Sage to be that close, but manages to flick onto her head just about in time.
Blinding craft. I'll isolate the problem. You crush it.
Oh, I see. I have a spectator now. Hello, Bao. How are you doing?
I did this when I organized the scrim, so I might as well watch a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the scrim is in 2 hours, so you have time.
Now we wait.
And I guess you're just waiting for somebody to talk to you about it. Alright, I'm gonna see just 5-player A push. Sova's gonna get probably cleared out by the drone. He's gonna get flashed. Doesn't get a single one, but gets a lot of damage done onto that Omen right there. Gonna walk out with a flash. Able to get one, but gets traded out right away. And then Omen Paranoia manages to hit them as well, but really not much value off this Paranoia, considering nobody really peeked off of that. You just see that re-smoke coming through. And is that like, what do we have? So much Sentinel utility, I'm a bit confused. We put a wall and there's like a sensor as well. And now you see the Cypher and Vise pivoting to the other side of the map because they're probably not going to commit. Are they going to re-smoke this? And that drone, that dart isn't really going to clear out. And the Deadlock's still playing with the Ares over here. I think managed to get a tiny bit of damage onto Sage. Vise is rotated all the way back to B side, now just holding that. And Sova's walking up mid. Don't know if he's going to expect Omen to be playing from this little off angle over here. He does expect it. Gets killed. And Omen not being able to get a second over here. ISO manages to get the trade.
Left.
They are down to 30 seconds. I'm gonna see that smoke to help the ISO come through, and I mean, they're gonna know it's an A hit by now. Cypher might try to peek through this. Not wall bangable though. Deadlock swings out and gets killed right away. Cypher not good for one. It's all down to the Vise. It's just stuck behind the Sage wall. Still playing with a Guardian from last round. I mean, they did bonus off of this.
Not ready yet.
Omen manages to flick the flash, but not fast enough. But the Sage manages to get the refrag. 1v3, not really much.
I demand.
Not really much to do in that kind of situation, unfortunately. Attackers get their first round. I mean, I feel like this could have been avoided a little bit. I think they could have definitely won this round had that Omen not been holding really... Can I ping? Because he was holding from here. I can't ping, but he was holding from mid cubby. If he TP'd out, he probably could have survived instead of like going for the repeak on the ISO. They're just gonna leave the spike back in spawn. That's a little interesting. We're gonna see Phoenix once again go for that early peek out.
It's you and me.
Gonna invest his flash, get the kill on the Jet. Doesn't get the kill on ISO though. And now ISO just walking out into sight. Takes quite a bit of damage and gets tagged as well. Is left alone inside. Wallbangs all the way down to 4 HP by the Vise. Still getting tagged by the camera though. Paranoia comes through.
Stabilizing.
Manages to get cleared out. But the rest of them are now on site. Vise just collapsed on and back site over here. And it's 3v3 down to a 3v2.
Spike planted.
Both are just playing from back site.
Scanning ahead.
Both very low as well, 10 and 6 HP. Recon gonna get them a bit of info, but not really much they can wallbang off of over here.
One enemy remaining.
Gets the timing, and it's all down to Deadlock now. Managed to get 2 kills and not get a single tick of damage. Both are one shot to any little trace of this Odin that's gonna hit him.
One enemy
Sees one,
remaining.
gets one, goes for the second, manages to get it. Only issue is the wall. The wall is in the way. It's her own wall stopping her. Luckily, there is enough time with the wall as well to go down.
I know how to
Gonna get a
fend for
third
myself.
round now. Really only were able to lose on their bonus when they had worse weapons. I mean, you are seeing quite a lot of stall util. That Vise wall singled out the ISO, and then the Cypher cam tagged him, and the Vise was able to just get so much damage off him through just wall bangs from backside. Nothing really the ISO could have done against that. Like, he had to have just baited out the wall there, and they really didn't do that. I'm wondering when Jace is gonna join me as well. He said he would after having breakfast. Phoenix once again going for that really aggressive peek. Flicks onto ISO. Just gonna stay out here, pushing up. I don't think the Omen expects that. They don't expect him to be. Gets a third kill.
Spike down A.
Very aggressive push. Gonna go for that flash. Does get killed.
Last player standing.
But now the Omen gets the kill onto the Sova and is all down to Chasm. He's left all alone, doesn't really know where anyone is. Probably can expect one to peek out. Here's one close, goes for the spray, still doesn't really get much. And a flick shot with the Marshall to end this round off. What a round for that Phoenix. Absolutely crazy, overly aggressive push. Manages to get so much value though. Phoenix has been pushing out on their site quite a lot, but it looks like this round he's going to be on the wrong site for once, which I think is the first time he's actually on the wrong site. I believe he's been predicting their site hits perfectly for the first couple of rounds. It's going to be a little interesting because he's not really going to find any of them. They're going to just go for a full push mid, which they're just going to run into this Omen right away. Probably going to clear him out though. Omen manages to get one and gets away. He doesn't repick that. That's pretty smart.
You will not kill my ally.
And they do get that res down, though.
Over there.
No, there's a trip. And the Sova's also getting very close to sight. There's a deadlock holding them with...
Here.
Cypher manages to get one. Can't get the second. And the deadlock, with the Annihilation coming through, not being able to catch that Sage just by one little, tiny little smidge.
Spike down B.
Omen using his ult to get onto site already. And they have that
One
spike.
enemy remaining.
Just managing to clear it out. Phoenix, another 2K over here.
I'll outshine all their aim.
Had to invest that Sage res, and even still, they couldn't really win that round. How's their eco's doing not too well anymore? Oh, why are we... Why did he leave the party? What? Oh, what? Okay, yeah, I'll ignore that. This is this isn't me reporting tech poses or whatever. You're gonna see them just gonna push B again. They think maybe they have a bit more success towards it. Jet's just gonna push into mid, not really finding anything there. You're already gonna get locked behind a Sage wall. Or Deadlock wall, not Sage wall. Managed to get through. I love it when that trip just can just hear through walls. Sack is just sitting on his cam. We're just gonna see that fight mid over here with the Jet not being able to hit a single shot onto the Phoenix. The Phoenix gonna get away with another couple of kills. He's gonna just stay around here, stay in this cubby. He's not even gonna fall back much. He's just hoping that they push back into him. Playing very, very aggressive. And we see Sova's gonna probably drone him out in a second. Gonna clear him out. He knows he's there. Gonna peek into him. You don't really want to be peeking into this Phoenix. He's been going absolutely crazy with another 3K. See this deadlock? Not very good control from the Odin, and the Omen Flash completely misses both players.
30
jiggling
seconds
this.
left.
I mean, 3v2. They don't really have to play it that aggressively. They could just play back, play safe, and just hope that they walk right into them. Just gonna be able to get a Vandal here though. Does kind of boost their economy slightly. Gonna spot that Omen jump peeking mid. Gonna spot both of them as well. They only have 14 seconds left. They have to go very quickly. And Omen's gonna realize that. He's just gonna
left.
close. Yeah, he's gonna get his Vice to close the door. He's gonna fall back. They have no time to get the plan down. And they have no Omen ult to get onto any sites either. Just gonna go for that save. Jet maybe trying to push a bit further in. Manages to get the pick on the Omen right at the very end here, though. Tries to ruin their economy slightly, but they're still absolutely drowning in money. I mean, you see, after buying so much, you're still seeing 4,000, 4,000, 5,000. The only person who's even close to being broke is G-Crow over here. And, I mean, they managed to afford an Odin as well. But if you look at that econ, it's just not looking too good for the attacking side. Down 6-1. Very little money, very little everything. We're gonna see a bit of resistance over here to clear them out, and Phoenix getting killed there through his ult, being able to get one, sees the Jet, and he's just gonna stay and hold the angle. He really likes doing that. Gonna just barely not being able to get a second one through the miraculous spray. And we're gonna see that Sova ult being invested to clear out Cubby, and they have that smoke down. Now they're just gonna push into it, maybe. They're just gonna want to push mid. Deadlock's just gonna clear out the entirety of B main, knows that nobody is there. Sova might re-peek into Deadlock though. Does re-peek and gets cleared out right away. And now it's just down to a 3v4. Once again, advantage towards the attackers. Vyze is just chilling in spawn right now. Just ready to rotate to wherever the attackers show themselves next. And we have that re-smoke on B coming out. Just gonna walk out onto site, but not entirely for free. They're not really gonna expect the Cypher playing from this angle by the looks of it though.
30 seconds left.
No cam or anything either. Cypher's gonna hear that. Sees one, able to get one, and his walls just come down. It's the Sage being able to clear the cam. Sage and Omen left alone. Knows where one is. They're gonna invest that Vyze ult into here, and now stuck with just a classic. 10 seconds to plant, not knowing who to shoot. Too many targets, too many people to shoot, and with one little classic, you can't win that. I mean, you just saw the indecisiveness, like, oh, I need to shoot the Sage, but then, or shoot the Vyze, but then the Cypher appears, peeks out, just not something you can really control. Down 7-1, haven't been able to win a single round since the bonus. They've really snowballed into this. And you see they're down to buying light shields, and we already have that operator coming through from the Omen, which is a bit interesting, but at the same time, you don't really want to put an operator on a Phoenix. They're not really gonna push into anyone here for once. And the ISO ult also not catching a single person.
Wall trip.
They did bait out the, well actually no, they didn't bait out the wall. We just have Jet on top of Jet, just getting sprayed down to 54 HP right away. They just predicted that so perfectly. But for once they've managed to take site, which I think is really, really nice though. They've managed to finally take site. It's a 5v5 retake. We're just gonna see a bunch of sprays into smokes for a bit. Sage wall coming up, getting broken almost instantly. Playing from hell. I mean, Omen with an op can't really do much to help over here. A 2v3, one, okay. Gonna flash that. Getting cleared out and is just down to the Omen with an operator. I mean, how much can he do with an operator? They just have to play back, and he doesn't really have anything he can do. I think his best bet is to save the operator, and that is exactly what he's gonna go for. They're just gonna fall back, hope that they're not gonna die, and he's just gonna hold some angle, but they're not really gonna be here because the spike just cleared them out. I'm still gonna try to push mid maybe, but really no kills really gonna happen after the round over here. Oh, Jace, you're here.
Well, yes. Hello, 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 hello.
We have a bit of a one-sided game over here. Currently, they've managed to win just now. They've managed to win a second round. The economy has been shit for the entire game, and I mean now it's starting to get a bit more balanced out. There were a couple of rounds where
my goat soup. My goat
soup. I mean, they're struggling. This Phoenix has had a couple of crazy rounds, like 2Ks and 3Ks right at the start of the round.
Obsolete.
Oh, that ain't gonna help.
That is not. Yeah.
Blinding threat.
Start walking up mid though. Once again, Omen just playing from this cubby every single round. I mean, they gotta expect him by now.
I'm definitely curious as to what exactly is going to happen with Vise, because you can probably do some really cool stuff with Vise, and the
Yeah.
fact that you can place her flash on the floor, as you can see there.
That is actually pretty interesting. I mean, also you have to see that this is a triple initiator
One
comp.
enemy remaining.
And I think they managed to finally stabilize it, and they're finally getting another round.
Spike planted.
Might even be a flawless if they play it right. I mean, they know exactly where she is. Able to get one, but not able to get a second. Killed by the jet pushing from like, what is this, like window?
Here.
I mean, they are on like defense right now because they
Yes.
started on defense, but it is gonna be pretty interesting to see this Cypher, Deadlock, and Vise on attack. This triple Sentinel comp. I was mentioning that at the very start when we were in Agent Select. It was just like, what are they planning? What are they planning if they don't like get a really, really good half? I mean, they are already up in the half regardless. The worst they can do is 7-5. Best they can do is 9-3. I'm a bit interested. Phoenix gonna take that aggressive peak once again, I think. He's been doing this almost every round, and he's been winning quite a lot of these gunfights. This time he does get traded out right away, though. Omen's just in mid. I thought he pushed that further.
Reeling them in.
Managed to get one, and gets a second.
Oh,
Trying to save a player from the annihilation.
One enemy remaining.
And Omen dies mid. I was trying to switch to him. It's just down to the Sova. It's been most of these rounds have really been like this. Like they get a kill at the start, and then everything just snowballs out of control. You know,
I'm losing it at the fact that the Team 1 VC group is currently playing Farm Merge Valley
wait, actually?
in the Team 1 VC.
Manages to get one, gets traded out though. Playing Farm Merge Valley is crazy.
Last round.
Team
in
1
the
is the
half.
ones that's winning as well right now. Actually, no, never mind. It's not. It's the losing team. I think that might be why they're
You just
losing.
lying for fun now? You just lying for fun now? Come on, bro. I'm definitely curious to see how they're gonna change Sage, because you know you heard earlier.
Yeah, we heard we wanted to get what was it? Gecko, Sage, Cypher, and Phoenix.
changes.
Yeah.
Get out of my
It's
way.
probably gonna be like like TMV was saying. It's probably gonna be like a 2-2 with Phoenix
Yeah.
and Sage buffs, and then Gecko and Cypher nerfs.
Phoenix is
I
gonna
think for
push out-
Cypher, yeah, bring up some of the points that you made in the video. It's probably just gonna be for Cypher. It's probably just gonna be stuff like have his rearm time for trips be slightly longer, and or make his ult point 7. But with the way that they've been wording it, it feels like it's gonna be some major changes instead of just a couple of number tweaks.
Yeah, the way they've said it, it's not like the other ones. Like we'll slightly tweak, some things. It does sound like they could be just completely reworking some of these agents, and it is pretty interesting to see what they're going to do. I'm quite interested. I'm not really going to be playing Val, but I'm definitely still going to be casting. So
Yeah.
do need to know that.
Nowhere to run!
Very slow round I'm seeing over here.
Sensor down.
Going off the kill contract. Not gonna be able to do anything now.
Yeah. He's gonna get flash. He's gonna go straight for the repeat. Good Phoenix with the flash. Good for one. Good for
Oh my
three.
God.
Oh my god. The Phoenix just keeps popping off. He's gonna ult,
And he's
but he's just gonna get cleared out. I mean, it might have just been more worth it just waiting until he sticks it, if anything. I tried to switch the Omen, but he died just too quickly here.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I am interested to see changes.
think
I
themselves are
do have like
equals.
funny story I guess I could
They
share because I
understand.
shared it with some of the people. I mean, Baum, you're listening to us, but it's the one I sent earlier today. Basically, I had a dream where I was like casting Valorant 2.0. Like they completely reworked most of the agents, and for some reason Yoru was like now an initiator, and he had 2 abilities that were like similar to a breach stun, like range wise. and instead of stunning, it would like make some spikes pop up from the ground, and you had to like jump to avoid them. I don't know why you would want that kind of ability, but I feel like it sounds a little interesting. I was thinking about that earlier today when I woke up. Cypher just trying to figure out a good trip for flank. Still hasn't been able to place one. What is he doing? We're gonna use that Vise flash, but not really go off of that. But they're just gonna use a cage. Getting cleared out right away. ISO good for 2.
One enemy
Gets a
remaining.
3rd. And it's just this Cypher left.
Foolish.
Manages to get 1. How's it the ISO is there and watching him? Checks
Talk
the
about
cam,
the
nobody's
shots, by
flagged.
the way, from the ISO. Holy shit!
Yeah,
those
those
are
are
some
some-
really nice shots.
Those were some really nice shots at the start there. I only managed to get 2 of the 3, but they were really nice. I mean, sees that all 3 of them are there. The spikes in the smoke, but it's not even worth it to go in there. There's too much of a chance of somebody just playing in there. Then again, he doesn't really want to end up saving, because it's just gonna completely ruin his eco. Gonna try to go for at least a pick, not being able to get any of them, and the ISO manages to walk away with a 4K first round.
I'm ready.
I mean, yeah, how do you really want to play a triple sentinel comp on attack? It is a good question to ask these guys what exactly their plans are.
Definitely going to be very. I don't know. You know, you got the double sentinel trying to do stuff on defense. I mean, you still got the flash from Vice to
Yeah,
help.
I mean, Vice is kind
Yeah.
of more like an initiator here. You can use her as such for
Yeah.
but you have that flash. Just gonna peek with an outlaw, gets 1, gets a 2nd, dashes out of the way. Also spots the spike. Oh,
Yeah, I think a little bit of the vines as well, being able to,
Free.
I guess, trap people in certain spots a little bit, even though it's not going to be, you know, probably as
I guess
insane as
it
maybe
could
like a
it
stun.
could like stop somebody from holding any a certain part of like of a site. Phoenix been able to get that pick on the Jet though. Stops her rampage with the outlaw.
Careful now.
Gonna hear the ISO reloading. Just knows that he's playing there. Cypher is going to trip, but he doesn't have a trip for this Sova that's just gone all the way through his spawn. I don't think this is gonna be expected for him.
Last player
It's
standing.
not. Sova just pushes straight through the spawn. Straight for it. And he saved that outlaw. We'll give it back to the Jet again. Just getting those kills. I mean, they still have 3 players on light shield, so, or 2 players on the attack. They're gonna be 1-taps to this outlaw. They are gonna put this outlaw on the completely wrong side of the map. However, seeing what is the Sage planning though? Are about to see like a Grimwall? I think we are. Soup is about to. He completely messed up his Grimwall. That's
Joke's over.
very unfortunate.
You're dead. Flash.
Gonna see that. Gonna see Phoenix ult invested, not getting much, and getting quite a lot of damage dealt to him.
Spike down B.
Watch your eyes.
Flashes himself as well.
Look sharp.
Manages to get one, sees, spots the Sage, but peeks right into the outlaw. And the Vise is now left alone on site to plant, and they're just gonna they're gonna let her plant.
Spike planted.
Are they gonna expect the
Last
Cypher?
player standing.
The Cypher doesn't even expect them to be looking market, I guess. We're gonna see Vise not being able to connect that shot with the ISO. That is very unfortunate whiff from the Vise by the looks of it, because ISO was just jumping around.
Ready. Not this time.
Hey, don't call it a comeback, but I mean that's a big bonus to convert there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is expected as well. Triple Sentinel, or I guess double Sentinel, 1 Senti, half Initiator.
I didn't even realize they had the Cypher on top of it as well.
Yeah, they have that. They have that Cypher. Like, it worked out so well on defense. I think the first round they kind of messed up. I'll explain to you what happened. They had a Cypher trip and a Vice wall in the same place. Somebody baited out the Vice wall and got caught by the trip. But then because the Vice wall came up, he couldn't spray through the smoke. Right after that, they adapted. They had Vice play separately. I mean, Sova's just gonna go right away with that Odin play. I mean, very common Ascent thing.
Yeah, and they still have the kill contract online. I doubt they're going to use it this round, but being able to maybe isolate a 1v1 and potentially, you know, get an early pick next round and stuff could be very, very big. Obviously, with the triple sentinel comp, it's going to be, you really don't want them to get onto site because trying to retake against 3 sentinels is going to be no easy task for any team.
Yeah, you really just want to stop them from getting the
Last player
plant down.
standing.
Like, because once they have a site, they can lock it down pretty well. And I mean, it's just a Deadlock. He's gonna hear it. Deadlock manages to get the kill, but left alone, down to 10 HP. And Sage...
Wait, he walled himself in.
He walled himself in. I don't know how the Sage missed those shots at the start, but right after, just... not much you can do. Yeah, it's you are seeing this. Like, if they can't get onto site, it's pretty easy win for the defenders here. Because the second they get onto site, I think they can hold it down pretty well. But we haven't really seen them actually get onto the site, get the plant down without being at a number disadvantage already. Not sure if they really know what exactly they want to do here. It's very, very possible to come back from this, and they were down 9-3. They've won 4 rounds in a row. Don't want to jinx it, but it's very much possible for these guys to just come back on this attack, on this defense half. Oh, wrong button. All right, got one more point towards that that Phoenix ult, and they're gonna invest their kill contract to potentially get one. Managed to get that one that they needed, and again we're seeing it go down to down in numbers for the attackers right away. No, that Phoenix with a crazy flick, and they also have that Annihilation, being able to get one, gets flashed, still manages to get one, and just some sprays through the smoke, getting another one down to a 2v4. And it all happened so fast after that Annihilation came through. Spike is stuck inside of the smoke again. Gonna get tagged by this dart over here. Potentially use a cage to get the Spike. They're just gonna start spraying him. He's just gonna try to put a cam down, but the cam is instantly gonna get destroyed. I mean, that B side is left completely open. But if they just manage to catch them rotating through mid, this Sage or ISO might be able to. Sage, good for one. And gets the second as well. Stops the rotate through mid. All just falling at the very start. I mean, you see that first pick happens, and once again, they just end up falling apart after that. They really don't want to let themselves get picked off, but every round it's just been happening.
I mean, yeah, 9-3 half, and now only 1 round separates these 2 squads.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not looking great for the attack. 3 Sentinels is...
It's just,
you know,
it just doesn't
proving
work.
to be a lot more difficult to actually get on site. You have that Phoenix to try to entry, but only one agent can do so much.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot dart.
Beautiful shot dart, getting a lot of damage on that Omen, and even a bit more damage extra to that Deadlock and Device. We're gonna see Phoenix being able to get one with his ult, which does put them at an numbers advantage.
Oh.
They're gonna hear that Operator, gonna invest that wall, and they're gonna invest their Vise ult as well. They want to potentially just turn this into a retake scenario, because I feel like they'd be much more powerful in a retake scenario. They know
this
where they
Omen's
are.
going to use the stage wall against them. They're going to use the defense stage wall against them.
Could be done.
Yeah, he dropped off.
He did end up dropping in the end. I mean, the Phoenix Manages to get 2 though for his team, and it has really helped them out. They are still up in numbers.
Wall tripped. Flashing.
They want to push to the smoke, but there's just so much stole utility from all of these guys. And we're gonna
Wait,
see
that
that Odin.
contingency is
Player
huge.
standing.
Yeah, that contingency was really, really good.
One enemy
Unfortunately,
remaining.
not gonna. Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
Enough time.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I don't
time
think
was
he had
also
much
running
time,
really
but it was
Yeah.
contingency to be able to get out on site and block off a lot of those angles where they literally can't even get spammed to. It was a nice play there.
It was really
Good
good. It just
coordination.
slightly didn't work out. I guess I didn't really account for an Odin holding them from, what is it called even, like this box? I don't know what to call it. The box on site. I don't know all the callouts sometimes, which is unfortunate, but oh well, I'll learn them.
Through the calm, I see. Through the storm, I fight.
I see a bit more of a mid push potentially.
Yikes.
I mean, that is one way to use a Vice Flash against your team. And Chasm's gonna fall back. We're gonna see that TP.
No touch left.
I'm back for some.
Spike
I
down A.
dropped my
Standing
stress
ahead.
ball on my keyboard, and it
Last
turned
player
on airplane mode.
How does that happen? Do you have a keybind for airplane mode?
No, because laptops love to put,
Oh.
love to not want you to use the function key. They love not
Oh,
wanting you to use the function keys unless you're hitting the FN key at the same time. So F8 turns on airplane mode
I know exactly.
because
what you
of course you
mean.
need a hotkey for that.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't
yeah,
you need a hotkey
I have
for
the
that?
same. I have the same actually. I have my laptop right here. It has the same exact thing. As I mean, everybody needs their singular keybind for airplane mode. It's because it's such a common keybind that you always want to use. I mean, I have to toggle it on every single day. Speaking of, I need to set up my laptop for work. I'm going away this
The
weekend.
FN lock is pretty nice though. The FN lock is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a thing. I gotta use that way more often.
So you see that operator getting pushed off right away with that Vice Flash. Another thing is, like, yeah, it's really nice because we don't really expect some of these Vice Flash placements, right? From, because it's such a new agent, like, not everybody really knows. Like, with Cypher Cams, you have all these standard places, and a lot of people just predict where they are and just
Careful.
expect them. But with the Vice Flash, you really have something new sometimes. I mean, remember TMV said it in one of his videos about Vice. So, ooh, Sage almost gets that deadlock on top of the wall. Could have been really bad for one of the two of them. Deadlock just pulls off right at the end there. Very slow round. I mean, they've taken a bit of space mid. Can just get cleared out by that Sova drone.
Shot down.
And then Omen manages to get a pick in mid, falls back. Probably gonna re-smoke that.
Careful now.
I think that Molly might just barely miss that stage.
30 seconds left.
But the Omen manages to get another pick mid.
There's no time for them to go anywhere.
Yeah,
The
they
Omen's
have-
just gonna be able to pick off Phoenix.
Spike down.
Yeah, and
B.
they just have so much control of so much of the map. They're really not able to push into any of them. And we're up to 10-10 now. This was a 9-3 half, I remind you. They've only won a single round on attack. This triple sentinel comp is just working against them.
Yeah, 7-1 run is nothing to scoff at. And you
Yikes.
gotta start wondering when, Well, I mean, I was gonna say when you start believing, but I feel like the time to start believing has long passed. We're at a tight score line.
We've just believed since the very start. I mean, I watched those first 3 rounds and they were able to win them so easily. It was just not even a question. I mean, it's a good Vice Flash, but you don't really seem to be getting much value. We're gonna, once again, just gonna get blinded with the paranoia.
Spike down A.
They are out on site, but don't expect the off angle. And it's now just ISO left alone. Manages to live through the paranoia. Just all down to the Cypher. And ISO, good for a 4th. What a round from the ISO. Just sitting in that corner, nobody even expected him to be there. I mean, usually you clear out that corner, but because they put that wall up, I guess he just didn't expect anybody to be hiding behind the wall. I mean, yeah, we're seeing both these comps very, very defender-sided. If you just look at the scoreboard, it's just been... Really, I think
Yeah, on
they
top of
should've-
it, you're also playing Ascent, which, historically speaking, has been pretty decently defender-sided. If
Yeah.
you can start getting the ball rolling, it's
That's
definitely
true, that's
very
true.
difficult
I really-
to hit some of these sites at times.
Yeah, you have ISO playing behind Dice over here. Just gonna pivot towards behind Jen. Use the shield. Is he gonna go for that ult? He could get that Vise right now. He manages to get the Vise into the ult as well. Nobody else really pushed out on anything. Gets the kill, and Omen just decides to fall back. Like, it's not worth it right now. Just gonna pick up the spike and probably try to rotate to the other side of the map. I mean, they don't really have anyone pushed up mid, but nobody really has control of mid. We have a bit... I mean, we have that operator holding tiles, though. Deadlock has walked all the way up main, sees that Sage, gets one shot through, and I think the Sopa might use his dart here to reveal them. Sage good for one. Gonna invest that paranoia, gonna peek off of that, and it's just, once again, down to the Cypher, all alone, 1v5.
30 seconds left.
Cage trigger.
It's just so... I mean, they're being so oppressive on this defense over here. Really not giving them much of any opportunity. Gets one. Invest the ult, but not gonna be able to get a second one before... Not even gonna let that ult tick before he's just gonna get spammed through the wall by that Odin.
Match point.
Match point.
Yeah.
We were down 9-3. I mean, the 9-3 curse really being a real thing right now.
Absolutely, and it doesn't really matter what level you're at. You know, blowing any sort of large lead is always a terrible feeling. I would know because literally earlier this week on Monday, during my collegiate official, our team lost an 11-5 lead, and it was soul crushing.
That is terrible.
You know,
I mean,
we were still
yeah,
able
we
to close it out. We won 2-1, but you know that first map, it definitely was
Spike down.
in the back of our minds for a decent bit.
yeah, I mean, we were playing one of my team. Well, I mean, I'm not in the team anymore. I'm just like a sub for scrims. But my team was scrimming on Haven. We were able to get a lot of rounds on defense, but then the second we went on to attack, we didn't win a single round. It was pretty bad. Like, we did kind of blow that lead.
Embarrassing.
Oh,
This is winnable now,
this
actually.
is actually winnable. Yeah, I am like starting to
It's gonna
say.
be so awkward.
One
No,
enemy.
the Sova.
It's gonna have to be a
Just,
4K.
it is just going to have to be.
I don't know if that blaze wall reaches far enough to block off that
It does.
sightline from mid.
Well, I mean, no, it doesn't block off the sight line, but it does block off the dart, which I guess is kind of helpful. I mean, he hears that Sova as well. Sees the Omen. Sova now
Knows
knows
who they
he's
both
there.
are.
There's just not much to do in this
Defenders
kind of situation. I mean, triple Sentinel, just not the right thing for attack. Went all the way from 9-3 to 10-13 for the complete wrong team. I mean, yeah, if you look, Phoenix was popping off at the start there, but afterwards it just didn't really work. It just didn't really work out once we switched sides.
Whew.
Okay, yeah, they have more than enough time.